Hello again, James Bogue here again at Casa Cuadrau, and we're going to do a little bit of a sun salutation sequence now, Sūrya Namaskāra variation sequence. Now Sūrya Namaskāra is a beautiful emblem of the whole of yoga practice, sometimes translated as the sun salutation. And to salute the sun, so this word salute, salutation, that which is salutary is good for our health. And the sun in the Indian system is one of the representatives of our best friend. So I'm going to sing a mantra at the start of this sequence, Om Mitraya Namaha, invoking this energy of the great friend, with the intention that as I practice, I be my own true friend. So everything that I do in the sequence, I want to make sure it feels good, it feels nourishing, that I'm practicing how I want to feel the rest of the day, the rest of the time. So I will include different variations as we go. You don't have to do them all. You can repeat ones you like, and different days do different ones, but always make sure you're being friendly to yourself and you're inviting this friendly, nourishing energy. It's like in the morning, our best friend, the sun, has been to the other side of the world, and so we welcome back in that nourishing, vivifying, healing, harmonizing energy in such a way as to invite greater balance, greater easefulness, greater awareness through the whole of the system. So with that intention, we work with the movements. So we'll sing Om Mitraya Namaha together. And as you come to stand, perhaps in Samastitihi, with the inner and outer ball of the foot touching, feeling the subtle activation of Bandha, so you feel the connection down to the earth. And Bandha, this invisible support bandage that creates a little bit of lift and space and room and engagement, evenly around all the joints, to facilitate a sensation of spaciousness through the whole body. So as I stand here in Samastitihi, I feel myself rooting down to the earth. And if you like, as you exhale, you can feel you exhale and send energy down to root all the way towards the very center of the earth, that most grounded place on the planet. And then you can also visualize the beautiful, nourishing, golden light of the sun above you. And breathing, you can feel the breath, the exhale, moving down the body, washing that beautiful golden light all the way down, giving that energy back to the earth. And then as you breathe in, feeling stable and supported by the earth beneath you. And so we start to invite space and light to expand through the body. We'll sing the mantra Om Mitraya Namaha. Om Mitraya Namaha. So the first thing I'm going to do is invite space in the body. So I reach up, start to gather the energy, and moving in a continuum. So first of all, as before, we always lengthen the spine first. So I feel that length in the spine. The hands then move forwards and downwards towards the rear, come through, arc the arms out. The lumbar spine stays long. I feel the connection from the earth all the way to the sky. And then I triple flex ankle, knee, hip to bring the hands towards the ground, stepping the left leg back, gathering the energy from the earth, coming into this active lunge. So I'm on the ball of the back foot. Both legs are supporting me. And the smooth arm movements are again deepening that sense of cohesion through the whole body. I want to lift the arms up. I can turn the hands a little, ring finger moves inwards a little, to really feel that sense of connectivity from the toes into the pelvis, and from the pelvis up to the fingers. So we're inviting the whole body to participate in the posture. And here I can check I've got room for maneuver. Always want to make sure I've got room for maneuver in a yoga asana. Nothing can be too tight. I can move forwards and backwards. The spine can rotate a little. And then from here, I'm going to bring the hands down and come into plank position. So in plank position, the whole body is nice and firm. We're just going to come down to hands and knees for a few moments, just to do a little bit of wrist preparation. So we can let the body weight move side to side. Turn the wrists, slide the weight gently forwards and back. to feel a sense of opening through the wrist and forearm. Can come onto the back of the wrist. Perhaps turn the elbow crease in and out. Maybe slide the body weight back. Put the fingers in one spot and circle the wrists a few times one way then the other. And then forearm raises. We're going to root down through the finger bases. These are going to connect securely to the ground. Index fingers pointing straight forwards. Elbow creases orienting forwards. And then my shoulder is above my knuckles. So it's important that the shoulder is not back, but is above the knuckles. And then I'm going to root the finger bases down into the earth. And as I root them down, they're going to lift up the forearm. And I take care that I move from the finger bases rather than from the center of the body. And I'm just starting to activate the area of the wrist and the forearm so that when I come to support the body weight in plank position or other postures in which I'm bearing weight in the arms, this area is activated, it's already recruited, it's already switched on, so it can play its supportive and integrated role through the whole of the kinetic chain from the hands through to the center of the body. You know you're doing this exercise correctly when you have a sensational experience in the forearms. So you can make it even more sensational, more challenging by taking the knees further back, so there's a greater load. You can do it in a full push-up position eventually perhaps, and you can bring the knees closer to slightly reduce the load. Work in such a position that you feel the activation in the forearms, but it feels just like, oof, there's a sensation of energetic presence, no pain at all. And then gently come onto the toes, shake out the wrists, and I'm going to come to the plank position and really embody the spirit of the plank. So Hatha Yoga, physical yoga practices, we have Ha, which is contraction, warming, and we have Ta, which is kind of releasing, cooling. So this is a pretty Ha-ha posture. But if it's going to be yoga, we have to have a Ta element. So everything is firm, and I feel like this is Sūrya Namaskāra variation. Feel like your solar plexus or the sun in the center of your body, the energy or the engine in the core of you, can radiate out evenly in all directions. So in the plank, there's a lot of firmness in the posture, but our face muscles are relaxed. We can smile, the neck can move if we want to. We root down through the finger bases. We feel broad and space across the chest and back. And I'm radiating out from the center in all directions, beyond the crown of the head. Imagine there are magnets on your feet and they're reaching to a magnet on the wall behind you. Feel breadth across the chest and the back. And maintaining that plank-like quality, we'll lower down to the ground. We can do this with the legs as they are. Or we can bring the knees to the ground first. And you can also do the plank with the knees to the ground if that's more appropriate for you, just focusing on that sense of the whole body working as a unit and energy radiating evenly through the body. And from here, I'm going to extend the arms out and really feel a sense of length in the spine. So just like when we're standing, the first thing we do is lengthen. So you can imagine again there's magnets on the wall behind you and also on the soles of your feet. Magnets on the wall in front of you and on the tips of your fingers. So you feel that length in the spine. And then the elbows are going to touch the ground. We'll turn the palms and bring the palms towards our shoulders. And then turn the hands again and bring the backs of your fists towards your face. Check the neck is easy. The lumbar spine should feel comfortable, spacious. And the neck is easy. And this is just a way to help train the body to extend the spine while staying very spacious in the lumbar. So if there's any sense of discomfort in the lumbar, take care. But first, you've really lengthened the spine out in both directions. And the hands flex in, return. And we're in this easy spinal extension. And I always think a good thing to do to check that you're in an easy spinal extension is to check you can sing. So if we can make a sound together, for example, So I can make a sound easily. That's a good indication that my system is relatively easeful. From here, maintain that same easefulness. We'll bring the hands out to the side, underneath the elbows. I'm going to tuck the toes under and transition into downward facing dog. Now I can do it with the knees on the ground, or I could lift the knees if I prefer. Whichever variation, make sure the spine stays long throughout the transition. Downward facing dog. I always like to keep a little bit of a bend in my knees to make sure that my lumbar spine is very spacious. And even with the knees bent a little, I can still feel the legs lengthening. I'm rooting down through the bases of the fingers. I'm activating bandha through all of the joints. The spine feels long and spacious, and the neck is easy. So check you can move the neck, and looking towards the navel. Breath easy. And then from here, in the space of an exhalation, I'm going to step the right foot towards the hands. I'll step the right foot forwards. If I find that when I step the foot forwards it doesn't come all the way to the hands, feel free to take extra steps. Get your weight underneath you and then come up into the lunge again. And then we'll step in and gather the energy back up. Feel length in the spine and maintaining that length. Gather the energy back in. Take a moment to notice the effect of that first side. Reaffirm the intention of Om Mitraya Namaha to move in a way that is friendly and nourishing to the whole of your system. And we'll do a similar variation on the second side. So first we inscribe this spacious arc in space with the length in the spine, and we'll triple flex ankle, knee, hip to come down. Hands come towards the floor, the right foot will step back this time into the active lunge. As before, a couple of times, moving the arms. Activate the fingers. Feel the connection from the fingers and toes all the way into the center of the body. Feel the connection to the earth and feel you can draw energy from the earth into the center of the body. Spine is spacious, you can radiate energy out in every direction. So we're gathering energy through the whole of the sequence. And then once more we'll come down to the plank position. And this time in the plank I'm going to add a couple of variations. I'm going to come to a side plank. So I'm going to step my left hand, one hand length forwards, roll onto the outside of the left foot, inside the right foot, and then gather the energy up with the right hand. Hips are lifting a little and I feel spacious in both sides of the body. Taking care to stay spacious through the whole of the supporting shoulder joint. Neck stays easy. And then I'll bring the right hand down, opposite the left, roll to the second side. Gather the energy and lift up to this side plank variation on the second side, feeling the space in the right side of the body and all around the right shoulder. And letting the left hand come down back to that start position, so one hand length back, right hand comes back. I'm going to do a second variation now. I'm going to bend the knees and I'm going to step the right foot out. Gather the energy back. Step the right foot in a little, left foot out. I'm just going to do this a few times, moving easily, side to side, and just reaching a little bit into space. I'm starting to feel now the connection from the center of the body out into the hands and the feet. So it feels easy as I move here. Now another variation to get into this same sensation is to make a tripod. So I step the feet out wider and a little bit closer to the hands, so I've got a stable tripod. And then bending the knees and the elbow. I explore the space with the free hand in different ways, reaching forwards and back. And feel I'm moving from the center of the body. So the arm is moving kind of from the navel, and the legs are moving in an integrated way. Then I'll switch hands and explore with the other arm in different ways, moving freely, bending the joints, feeling the connection from the center of the body out. And then I'll come back once more to a more regular downward facing dog. And then from here, I'm going to transition the weight forwards and taking great care to stay spacious in the lumbar spine. Come to look upwards. From the center, I lift back. Now, the very important thing in this movement, which we'll repeat a few times now, is that the lumbar spine and the hips do not collapse, but I stay spacious in the lumbar spine, and I move in the thoracic part of the spine. So I take it easy. It doesn't have to be a huge movement. I'm moving forwards and back a little. And the lumbar spine is staying long through the whole of the movement. We'll do it one more time. And then this time we'll bend the knees, bend the elbows, keeping the elbows in line with the wrists and shoulders, come down to the ground. Take the arms forwards. Again, feel that lengthening in the body, so we're reaching beyond the toes and the fingers. Lift the heart, feel the lumbar spine long. Then when I reach the right arm and left leg, away from each other, but feel the hip and shoulder still integrating into the spine. We'll move through the opposite sides a few times. Now the left arm and right leg. Focusing on a sense of length and space, rather than lifting to any particular height. Although do feel free to lift a little higher if it feels comfortable to do so. As always, be your own true friend. Let the movement be nourishing. Check you can smile. Check that the face muscles are relaxed and easy. And both arms, both legs. Opening the arms out. And then bringing the hands towards the ground, letting the chin come down. Again, feeling that length in the spine, and feel the heart begin to peel up away from the ground and lengthen forwards. Open the arms out, a bit like wings. Draw the hands towards your shoulders, feeling a sense of breadth across the chest and upper back. Let the shoulder blades come ever so slightly closer towards one another. Open the arms a little wider. And lower again smoothly. And then we'll continue repeating that movement. So we lift from the center of the body. The arms expand out from the center of the body. They come in. Opening wider again. And down. We'll do it twice more. So the heart rises. Long, spacious spine. Arms widen out to the sides. Hands come in towards the shoulders. Shoulder blades draw towards one another, yet at the same time the shoulders stay wide. Open the arms. Lower. One more time. Bring the hands under the elbows. slide back to hands and knees, tucking the toes under. And we don't need to come all the way to bring the hips to the heels. Of course, that's fine. If you want to do that, feel free to go a little further. But just take a couple of moments to really feel a sense of length in the spine. Check the neck is easy. Rooting down through the finger bases. Active in the whole of the body. And gently, in a friendly way, inviting a little bit more length and space through the whole of the body. And keeping that length and space in the lumbar spine. Come once more into downward facing dog. And then the space, the next exhalation, we'll step the left foot towards the hands. As before, feel free to take extra steps and make sure you have your weight underneath you. So as you come into the lunge, the whole body can support the upward motion. Active in the whole body, both feet nice and supportive, stepping in. And then gathering the energy. Long spine. We'll triple flex ankle, knee and hip again to come down and back up twice more. Keeping the length in the spine. And the hands come down. Notice the effects of what you've done. And do a second round with some slightly different variations. Again, affirming the intention of Om Mitraya Namaha. Inviting nourishing, friendly energy through the whole of the body. Triple flex ankle, knee and hip. Hands come towards the floor. We'll step the left foot back this time. Gather the energy up. Activate the ring finger. Feel the space in the body. And then from here, we're going to bend forwards. Bring the left hand towards the floor. From the navel, rotate the right arm up. And down. Come back up. Into the plank position. From here, this time, we come into a kind of down dog. And I'm going to step the feet in a little closer so the knees are underneath the hips. And here I'm going to invite a little bit of a bouncing movement. So very soft and easy. The knees don't touch the ground. And I'm just creating a little bit of lubrication in the knee joint. Creating this bouncing sensation. So I'm in the suspension chain. The whole body feels comfortable. And it's just giving some nourishing movement into the joints. And if I like, I can also do the same in the shoulders as an option. It's not a push-up, I'm really just lubricating the joint. And then from here, I'm going to have a little side-to-side movement. So I'm going to create a little bit of a jump step. The right foot's going to come towards the right hand, and the left foot follows. The hips come towards the heels so I can recycle the energy. I'm moving side to side. So right, left, the hips come towards the heels. I recycle the energy back to the center. Over to the left. So take care to really bend the ankles and knees. So the hips come towards the heels and you can recycle the energy as we move here. And then come to downward facing dog. Take a couple of moments just to gather back to the center. Check the neck is easy. And then from here, bend the knees, bend the elbows. Keep the elbows in line with the wrists and the shoulders. Take the arms forward. Long, spacious spine. Open the arms like wings. Go for a little fly. And maybe explore the possibilities with the arms and legs. A little bit like swimming in space. Drawing the hands back. Transitioning once again into downward facing dog. Taking care to connect nice and firmly, securely through the whole span of the finger bases. Feel the four corners of the feet working towards the ground easily. Maintain that little bend in the knees so the lumbar spine stays long. And in the space, the next exhalation, we'll step the right foot towards the hand. And gather the energy. Stepping forwards. Contouring to the second side, reaffirming that intention of moving in a nourishing, friendly way. As we move down, ankle, knee and hip all move as one, the whole body moving as a unit. Right foot steps back this time. Bending forwards, bringing the right hand towards the ground. And from the navel, rotating to lift the left arm up. And then down. Back up into the lunge. Coming down into plank position. This time in the plank, we'll bring the right knee towards the right elbow. And back, left knee to left elbow. Right knee towards the left elbow. Left knee towards the right elbow. Right knee towards the right shoulder. Left knee towards the left shoulder. And then as an option, if you like, you can bring the right knee towards the right elbow as the elbows bend. And then to the second side, the left knee comes forward towards the left elbow. Let the elbows bend, keeping the elbows in line with the wrists and the shoulders. And then from here, bending the knees, bending the elbows in line with the wrists and shoulders. Coming down to the ground. Taking the arms forwards, feeling the length in the spine. From here, gently bend the knees. Take the hands back towards the feet. And gently feel the body lengthening from the center. Now in this position, take care not to strain. For some people it might be easy to go into a much bigger bow shape. But if you find when you reach back the hands don't find the feet, absolutely fine to work with the hands and the feet just lifting. So it's like we've come from this flying variation, we're just lifting up a little bit more. So feel free to work wherever feels comfortable for you. And take care that you maintain that sense of spaciousness. And whenever in a back bend or a spinal extension like this, you want to make sure that it feels good. So one of my favorite songs is Nina Simone's Feeling Good. So I always feel like you want to check, are the birds flying high? You know the song, it's like, birds flying high, you know how I feel, scent on the pine, you know how I feel. I'm not quite sure, there was freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. So it's okay. If I can sing, I know my body's happy. If I can't sing, it's too much of a strain. I don't think it's worth doing it. The hands come underneath the elbows, in line with the wrists and the shoulders. And I'll transition into a kind of half down dog with the knees off the ground. Long spine. And then I'll come to a more conventional down dog, but I'm going to make sure I've still got that little bend in my knees. And then I'm going to do this kind of downward facing dog who's showing off his or her bottom to the sky. making this kind of figure of 8 shape. So I'm feeling the fluidity in the spine, and I'm feeling the legs, ankles, knees and hips are working as a unit. And then I'll come back towards the center again. And in the space of an exhalation, I step my left foot forwards this time. Back into the lunge. As before, feel free to take extra steps. Gather the energy up. And stepping in. And we'll come down and back up twice more. When we move downwards, taking care to let ankle, knee and hip all flex, initiating the movement at the knee. So it's not just all in the hip. One more time down. Feel the length and space in the spine. And then gather the energy back in. Notice the effects of what you've done. So I hope it feels good. Thank you.